There's a quiet moment most people never talk about. Not the moment you block them, not the moment you stop replying, but the moment you realize that disappearing didn't actually heal you. You were told the fastest way to win is to vanish. Go silent. Withdraw your attention. Let the absence speak louder than your pain. And for a while, that idea feels powerful. It feels controlled. It feels like dignity. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Silence alone doesn't change anything. People can ignore silence. They can reinterpret it. They can outgrow it. They can replace it. What they cannot ignore is a version of you that no longer fits the story they told themselves. So let me ask you this before we go any further. Are you trying to disappear to be missed? Or are you willing to transform so deeply that being missed becomes irrelevant? Stay with me until the end, because the final shift we'll talk about is the one that turns heartbreak into discipline, rejection into clarity, and emotional pain into a kind of quiet authority that no one can take from you. Take a slow breath. We're not here to play games. We're here to reclaim yourself. The illusion of no contact. Modern culture turned emotional distance into a strategy. Don't text first. Leave them on read. Disappear, and they'll come running. But Stoicism cuts straight through that fantasy. Because silence is not control. It's uncertainty. You don't control how your absence is interpreted. You don't control whether they miss you, feel relieved, feel validated, or feel nothing at all. Human beings are adaptive creatures. When someone leaves, the mind doesn't sit still, it fills the space. They rationalize. They rewrite the story. They convince themselves they were always stronger than they felt. They soothe their ego by reshaping the past. And here's the part that hurts the most to admit. While you're hoping your silence will hurt them, they may be learning how to live without you. That doesn't mean you failed. It means silence by itself is neutral. So ask yourself honestly, is your silence a step towards self-mastery? Or is it just another attempt to influence something outside your control? Stoicism never promised power over others. It promised power over the self. And that's a very different kind of victory. What actually breaks emotional attachment? Here's what truly loosens someone's grip on your life. Not distance, not disappearing, not withholding affection like currency. Growth. Real, uncomfortable internal growth. When silence becomes a workshop instead of a weapon, everything changes. You stop checking your phone for signs. You stop rehearsing conversations that will never happen. You stop measuring your worth by whether they notice your absence. Instead, you rebuild. You train your body. You discipline your mind. You restore routines that belong to you, not the relationship. You create structure where chaos used to live. And eventually, often when you least expect it, they look back. Not dramatically, not desperately, just curious. They expect the same emotional version of you. The reactive one. The explain yourself version. The one still waiting for closure. But that person doesn't exist anymore. Your voice is steadier. Your eyes don't search for approval. Your energy doesn't lean forward asking for reassurance. And that's when something shifts. They don't feel ignored. They feel locked out. Not because you blocked them, but because they no longer have a role in your inner world. The mirror they can't face. Every relationship creates an unspoken agreement. If I treat you this way, you'll stay this version of yourself. Small enough to manage. Predictable enough to control. Emotionally available enough to absorb my confusion. When someone mistreats you, they're often counting on your consistency more than your forgiveness. They expect you to remain reachable. They expect you to remain emotionally available. They expect you to remain unchanged. Because if you stay the same, they never have to confront what they did. But transformation ruins that comfort. Your calm becomes a mirror. Your self-respect reflects their carelessness. Your growth exposes how little they understood you. They imagined you waiting, scrolling, replaying old memories, breaking quietly. Instead, you build a life they never imagined you strong enough to claim. And that image, you standing taller without explanation, forces them to face something deeply uncomfortable. They didn't lose you because of circumstance. They lost you because they underestimated you. Silence fades. Evidence does not. Why growth is irreversible. Silence can be undone. A message can be sent. A call can be returned. A door can reopen. But growth has no rewind button. Once your nervous system learns safety without them, going back feels like stepping into a room with no air. Once you reclaim your peace, chaos feels loud. Once you rebuild your identity, shrinking feels violent. And that's what stings. Not that you vanished, but that you became unreachable in a deeper way. Not blocked, not hidden, not playing hard to get, simply beyond. Like a chapter they skipped, only to realize the story moved on without them. That's not revenge. That's consequence. Life's quiet justice. The Stoic way forward. Stoicism never taught disappearance. It taught discipline, clarity, endurance. So if you go quiet, let it be intentional. Not to punish, not to provoke regret, not to manipulate emotion, but to become whole. Let the distance refine you. Let the pain instruct you. Let the heartbreak strengthen your spine. Stop reacting. Start choosing. Stop waiting for understanding. Start living aligned with truth. Stop measuring yourself by attention. Start measuring yourself by integrity. Because the moment you master your inner world, the outer world loses its leverage over you. And yes, someone who once could hurt you will eventually feel that loss. Not because you disappeared, but because you returned as someone free. Free from chasing. Free from explaining. Free from needing validation from people committed to misunderstanding you. The real victory. The real victory isn't when they regret losing you. The real victory is when you no longer need that regret to heal. When you look in the mirror and see direction instead of desperation. Strength instead of longing. Peace instead of unfinished conversations. Silence can be forgotten, but transformation speaks a language no one can ignore. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had someone return, only to realize they no longer had access to the version of you they once controlled? And if not, are you finally ready to become that version of yourself? Write your experience in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. This is Stoic Ascend. We don't chase attention here. We build calm strength, one choice at a time. Stay steady. Stay disciplined. Stay free. And I'll see you in the next one.